Dear students, now I am going to explain you DNA replication or DNA duplication. So, DNA replication or DNA duplication occurs before cell division. You have studied last semester the process of mitosis. In every cell division, cell must duplicate its entire chromosome complements or chromosomes or the DNA so as to distribute equally the genetic material to resulting daughter cells. So, you know that already. So, the cell divides and through mitosis and two daughter cells. So, in this you will find, so the DNA replication or chromosomal duplication occurs prior to the mitosis, and so that the chromosomes are distributed equally to the resulting daughter cells. Genetic information is faithfully copied by DNA replication through many rounds of cell division. Just imagine, so you start your life with the zygote. Now you are a fully formed adult. So your body consists about 100 trillion cells. So these 100 trillion cells are they have originated from the single cell zygote, and 100 trillion cells are resulted through the mitosis. Prior to each mitosis, there is a DNA replication or DNA duplication, and this is how the DNA replication is the process by which DNA of the cell duplicates prior to cell division. During S phase of the cell cycle, what you see here, this is the cell cycle. So, the process of duplication of the entire genome prior to the cell division. DNA replication occurs in utmost accuracy in order to preserve the integrity of the genome in successive generations. So, not only it is so accurate, it is just imagine from zygote to fully formed animal, there is no mistakes. So, it is so perfect, and also this during the meiosis, before meiosis also there is a DNA duplication. So, this accurate the copied DNA will be transferred to the next generation. So, it is that is how the DNA replication occurs in utmost accuracy in order to preserve the integrity of the genome in successive generations. Replication rate in eukaryotes is slower, resulting in the higher fidelity and accuracy in eukaryotes. So, eukaryotes, this fidelity means accuracy. So, the accuracy means there is no mistake while copying. So, even while copying you may make so many mistakes, but here it is there is it is faithfully copied and transferred to the daughter cell. So, DNA replication is a semi conservative. You know that newly formed DNA conserves half of the original molecule, and that is the one strand parent strand, another newly synthesized strand. Thereby you will find here these are the original DNA. After replication you will find the newly formed daughter DNA, one is blue color and another is the red color, because you can see the newly synthesized. So, half is conserved, that is the semi conservative mechanism. Two strands of DNA are complementary. Each strand can be used as a template to make the other strand. So, that is that. So, this semi conservative mechanism of DNA replication first conceived by the FSC Crick in 1955, and later in 1958 Stahl and Mendelssohn, they have devised a very beautiful experiment to prove beyond any doubts. So, it occurs only through semi conservative mechanism. You should studied this Stahl and Michelsen's experiment. They have devised very beautiful experiments to prove this mechanism, semi-conservative mechanism. Replicons, replication units on chromosome called replicons. So, you will find in the case of prokaryotes, replication starts at the point called ori, and it will progresses in the both the direction. But in the case of eukaryotes, you will find eukaryotes, the chromosome having the long DNA, and it contains millions of nucleotides. So, this is what you can see. This is what the chromatid, single chromatid, it contains a single DNA molecule. This DNA molecule having two polynucleotide chain. So, this you can see, if it starts from one end, it is taking completes in the other end, it may takes about so many days. So, it starts at the multiple points. So, those the replication that occurs at a particular time, they are called replicons. The unit of replication on the eukaryotic chromosomes, they are called replicons. Eukaryotic replication has multiple origin. This is what you can see all along. This is the centromere, this is the chromatid, all along this you can see. So, this these are called replicons. They are replicate at this point of time, and the rest of the region replicate other time. So, you will find it starts at many replicons of variable size. The replicon size may vary. It may be 10 kilo base pairs to 330 kilo base pairs. 1 kilo base pair means 1000 base pairs. A cluster of replicons replicated at any one time, other clusters on varying time, and it will be completed by the end of the S phase. You know that you have studied last semester, you will find euchromatin, heterochromatin part of the chromosome. So, usually euchromatin parts, the replicons, they replicate earlier, and when compared to the heterochromatin part. So, the clusters near the replicons near the centromere tend to replicate early, and those near telomere replicate late in the S phase. So, DNA replication is bidirectional. It involves the steps unwinding of DNA double helix, initiation, elongation of nucleotide chain. So, you will find this is during the S phase. So, the begin with a single chromatid, and after the DNA replication you will find, so now two DNA molecule, two chromatids, this enters the prophase of the mitosis. So, unwinding of the DNA double helix. Before replication can start, the double strands of the DNA need to be separate from each other. An enzyme called DNA helicase breaks the hydrogen bonds between two strands using ATP. Bond breaking requires energy. So, this is here in the cartoon, this is the DNA helicase enzyme. It breaks down the hydrogen bonds, that is between the bases, and open the double helix, and the two strands get separated. So, then there is another enzyme, DNA gyrase, or it is a class of topoisomerase, which is this enzyme removes the supercoiling. You will find the DNA tends to supercoil. This is positive supercoil, negative supercoil. This has to be acting as a stress on the double helix. This has to be removed, or this supercoiling removed before the formation of the replication fork, and this is by the DNA gyrase. Helicase binds to the origin of replication and unwinds the DNA and separates the two strands. You can see the two strands get separated, and this single strand, now it bind with the single strand binding protein. This is another enzyme, it binds, and the single strand bind. So, keep the strand apart. So, they cannot come closer now, and there is no re-annealing will be prevented, or rejoining will be prevented by the attachment of single strand binding protein. So, in this way the replication fork is formed. You will find it is like a fork like structure. Is the site where both strands of DNA are unwound and separated, and these are acts as a template for the synthesis of new complementary strand. So, next step is the initiation of the replication. Replication is initiated by the attachment of the RNA primer to the DNA template. There is RNA primers are a small short RNA molecules of 10 to 100 nucleotide length produced by the enzyme RNA primase, you will find. So, in this cartoon, RNA primer provides a free hydroxyl at the 3' region that is required to begin the replication. So, to initiate the replication process, RNA primer, which is having this OH at the 3' region. So, that will be recognized by the free deoxyribonucleotides will align just below this 3' OH hydroxyl of the RNA primer. Then DNA polymerase binds and begins the synthesis of DNA complementary strand to that parental strand. This is the parental strand. So, the free nucleotides start arranging, that will be polymerized by the DNA polymerase enzyme. So, these strands get separated. Now, the RNA primase will synthesize a small RNA primer, and this RNA primer provide the space for the attachment of the free deoxyribonucleotides. So, they just align below this 3' hydroxyl. So, next you can see they get polymerized, you can see. So, the DNA strand synthesis involves the incorporation of complementary nucleotides into the growing strands of the DNA. DNA replication, that is why it grows from 5' to 3' because of this, because it attaches at the 3' region. So, then only DNA polymerase can polymerize this. So, DNA polymerizes free complementary deoxyribonucleotides aligned beneath the 3' of the RNA primer against the DNA template. So, this is the 3' end, you will find this is the template strand, and you can see this is the RNA primer. So, this is what you can see, this is the free deoxyribonucleotide will recognize this and attach. So, when they attach, they are polymerized by the DNA polymerase enzyme. So, in this way you can see the replication is bidirectional, new DNA strand synthesized continuously. You will find here it is it grows continuously, you will find in this this is called leading strand, and it grows from 5' to 3' region. In the other template, it is synthesized, it is short discontinuous replication. You can see there are so many small RNA primer, and just it is the DNA short fragments, it is synthesized as a short fragments, and these are called Okazaki fragments. They produce a discontinuous strand, and this is called lagging strand. So, the precursors of DNA synthesis are deoxyribonucleotide triphosphate, DNTPs they are called. There are 4 types of DNTPs, deoxyriboadenine you can see deoxyribo adenine adenylic triphosphate, the guanylyl triphosphate, likewise you can see DTTP, DCTP. The final replication product gaps in the DNA stitched by the enzyme DNA ligase, you will find the Okazaki fragments. So, which leave some fragments, it will leave some gaps. So, that is the stitched by the DNA ligase enzyme. Final product of the replication, RNA primers are removed and replaced by small complementary DNA fragments by DNA. So, the the Okazaki fragments are they are nicked or they are linked by the DNA ligase. This is how this is the Okazaki fragments, they are stitched. You will find the gap is sealed by this is the you can see the OH and the phosphate, this will be linked here establishing phosphodiester bond by the DNA ligase. Whereas, this RNA primer that get replaced by a short segment of DNA that is synthesized by DNA repair enzymes. So, there is you will find how exactly the continuous strand, leading strand, and this is the lagging strand. So, this in this animation you will able to see how exactly these are synthesized. So, after the synthesis you will find even though it is so accurate mechanism and it is not foolproof, there is a chances of mistake occur. It is the rate of 1000 nucleotide polymerized, there will be one mistake. At this rate the mistake will occur. So, that is why after this mistake should not be carried to the daughter cell. So, that is why this mistake has to be repaired. You know that during the cell cycle you have studied, there is a checkpoints. So, these checkpoints you can see before the cell enter into the G2 phase from the S phase, it see that if there is any mistake, that mistake should be repaired. If there is mistake is not repaired, the cell is not going to progress from S phase to the G2 phase and then to the mitosis. So, this is you have studied all these in your last semester. So, there is a proofreading and editing process is there. So, the replication is carried out in high fidelity. Errors during replication is a common, and there is a mismatched base pair. There will be a thymine dimer formation, you know that. So, all these are rectified by the repair enzymes. So, then only these errors rectified by different DNA polymerases. Newly synthesized DNA consists one parental and one newly synthesized strand. This undergo helical twisting associated with histones to form chromatin. Once the DNA in the cell is replicated and the cell can divide into two cells, each of which has identical copies of original DNA because of this replication process. So, this what are the tools of replications? You know, the entire replication process is a magic of all the enzymes. So many enzymes are involved here, they bring this process. So, DNA exists in the nucleus as a coiled compact structure along with the histones. During DNA replication, you will find a series of enzymes play in the unwinding of the DNA double helix, separation of the supercoiling, the releasing of the supercoiling, then unwinding process, separation of the double strand, then stability of the template strand, polymerization. Then after all these you can see the the stitching, all these carried out by several enzymes from they form the tools of replications. So, just I mentioned the helicase unwinds the DNA double helix, then a single strand binding protein keep the DNA single strand after it has been melted by the helicase, keep them apart. Gyrase, it relieves the torsional strain on the DNA molecule. There is a telomerase, it is adding the telomeric region to the DNA, that is the telomeric part of the chromosome. Then DNA polymerase, it is you can see the polymerizes the correct nucleotides and joins that, and the primase provides the RNA primer, it starts initiating the DNA replication process. Ligase joins the adjacent DNA strands together and to form the continuous strand, lagging strand. So, these are the tools of the replication. So, this is overview, you can see here how the enzymes, the helicase, single strand binding protein, polymerase, and you can see the lagging strand, leading strand. So, this diagram you may use while explaining for the examination. So, this is about the process of replication. In the next class, I am going to explain you the more about the DNA polymerase enzyme and the differences between the replication process in eukaryotes in prokaryotes.